Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. Nice to see everyone back and subscribed and tuned in. So bloody hell, years ago I went to jail for threatening to bomb a hospital, which was Birmingham City Hospital. But I never meant what I said. I used to be high on drugs and I've turned my life around since. The press blew it way out of proportion back then. Oh my fucking god, those cunts literally sabotaged my life. Ever since that day I lived in Birmingham, those cunts sabotaged my life. And I've still got a solicitor to this day still calling Birmingham news up and stuff and getting articles of my face that went around the whole of the world and my bad past of me threatening to do over Birmingham City Hospital. Yeah, that still, little bits of that still goes about, but people aren't interested in it. People know that I'm a decent person deep down. I nearly died from a drug overdose, literally in Birmingham City Hospital car park. I had literally a drug overdose. That was really bad. I came that evening from a gay Ken's party, basically, and ended up high and unconscious in hospital and was fitting in a bush at the front of the car park in Birmingham City Hospital car park. Nobody helped me at all. There was trolls at the time in Birmingham that were making videos of me online and that were like just being bums basically and just like, making my life hell and just pulling videos off me off my YouTube channel and just saying I'm a bad person and telling people to stay away from me. Had this absolute wanker called Alpha Bar that started making videos on me, and Alpha Bar, do you know what I mean? Like, what fucked up name is that? But I had that fat cunt to deal with at the time. And yeah, my solicitor, my legal team got involved and soon striked him down. But yeah, that was a person that really did obviously get on my nerves. He used to watch my videos, used to download all my videos. He used to even go to the police about my videos. Yeah. But yeah, he's the one that got me sent to prison. And if I ever come to fucking Yarmouth and I see that prick, I'd knock him out. I don't give a fuck. Oh, Birmingham, sorry. If I ever came to Birmingham and I saw Alpha Bar, I'd knock the cunt out. You heard Alpha Bar. I've changed. I have. But what you did to me back in the day was completely unacceptable. Just because I used to take drugs and get high and hang about with the wrong people didn't give you the right, you fat ugly bastard, to sabotage my life the way you did. The way you called the police up and made a cock and bull story and got me into more serious trouble than it needed to be, you know. I ended up getting arrested by 6 policemen around my mate's house. I was high and horny as well. And these police came storming in the house. And when I wasn't in, at a different address, they basically kicked down 7 PVC doors. The police did. Yeah, you cunts. You kicked down 7 PVC doors, which was in this beautiful accommodation I used to live in not Edinburgh, in Birmingham. And it was like this new build, and it was beautiful, honestly. Like, the housing association was so pissed. The police kicked through, because like where I lived, there was like a lovely little porch bit, which was a plastic door with a door closed on it. Then there was another entry bit with a door closed on it. Sorry, I say that because the door closes. But there was like, there was like a big porch bit, then another door. You got some stairs, then another door. 7 doors there to get through. So they cost £15,000 worth of damage for absolutely no reason, all because I was out and there was a warrant for me apparently at the time. And yeah, someone basically reported in the YouTube video that I made of me threatening to do over Birmingham City Hospital. And the reason why I said that at the time is because I was very angry and upset with the lack of treatment that I had. Anybody's son out there watching this, if your son had got rushed to hospital and the hospital had denied your son or your daughter that care and they were dying or they were in a life emergency situation, how would you feel? Exactly. It's exactly what happened to me. I remember calling my mum. My mum was actually helpful back then. My mum was like, darling, go to hospital. She was like, keep going into main reception. They'll help you. They've got to. I was like, Mum, they're not helping me. They're not helping me. Then I had this stupid black security chase me off fucking main site. Yeah, them stupid packies. They fucking just come chasing me out of the fucking hospital car park. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that pissed me off big time. Those idiots chased me out of the fucking car park when I was having a fast heart rate of 175 beats per minute. That's when I went to this other hospital. That's when they treated me. I'll get onto that in a different video. But yeah, they came chasing me out of the car park. And the reason why they did is not because I was a danger to anyone, but because I've been to that same particular hospital, Birmingham City Hospital, that many times. There's only so many times you can go to hospital, high and horny on drugs, until the hospital one day just turns around and goes, it's like, no, that's the boy that cried wolf too many times. So not the boy that cried wolf, but like called the Alpha Bar. I was the one that, I was the boy that cried wolf too many times, apparently. Don't think so. I was on drugs and I was crying out for help, basically. It was the way I used to self-mutilate myself and take my anger and frustration out on myself, was to take drugs and have sex with other gay men and get high and horny with gay men. Quite a lot. Yeah. My parents were quite distant from me then. They didn't disown me, but they were quite distant. And that is why I did end up... Oh, someone else is looking at me now. Oh, no. Interesting when you got a spotlight on you and everyone looks at you out the windows. Yeah, it's like, hello. Hi, everyone. Subscribe. Yeah, so I got half my street looking at me. Got like 4 people up the window just across the road from like the posh flats where I live, and just 4 people staring out the window. That's what happens when you're YouTube and you start getting famous. Well, not that famous yet, don't worry. It will be one day, maybe. And rich, hopefully. I'd like to become rich. Have my own business, my own car, my own home. Yeah. That's next on the agenda, 100%. But yeah, basically, yeah. So where was I? Got myself lost now. What was I saying? Oh, hospital, yeah. So I went to prison, and I went there for 12 months. Well, I was meant to do 12 months, but I done 12 weeks. Yeah. It was hell. But I had people that in prison that respected me. They didn't attack me. They didn't hurt me. They actually looked after me. Yeah. Prison was a really big eye-opener. I did not get put in any easy end of the prison. When I first went into the prison, there was people being nasty to me on this video I made ages ago on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to say this now. If you fucking cunts haven't got nothing nice to say to me in the comments, don't fucking watch this video. It's quite simple. No, I wasn't placed in a nonce wing. They did try and put me in a protection wing, which was not a nonce wing, because I asked to be protected, because I was scared at the time. Like anyone would be that goes into prison, do you know what I mean? But apparently this absolute spastic troll basically kept messaging my YouTube years ago and was like, oh, isn't it true you want to be put near the nonce wing? No, 1, because I don't mix with nonces, and 2, it's 1, I'm not a nonce. So yeah, basically, yeah, they tried to put me near the nonce wing. I was like, no, thank you. So then what happened was, the first day of prison, I went into like an induction wing. That was okay. That wasn't too bad. That was the paedophile wing was like literally downstairs and out to the left, so it was on the other side of the corridor. So I was nowhere near the pedo wing, thank God. But then afterwards, the fucking pricks decided just to put me into the deep end, and I literally went through the toughest prison in the whole of England, which was Birmingham HMP. Yeah, it was awful. I got thrown in with murderers. I got thrown in with, yeah, it was just fucking awful. There was this guy on my landing. He got put away for beating his baby up. Oh, sorry, no, beating his son up. Yeah, and chopping the ear off his son. And everyone was after him in prison. I'll never forget that. Everybody was after him. His ear came off in the showers. They chased him into the showers and cut his ears off. They cut his ears off, and one of the screws was badly beaten up because they had to have like the army police come in and drag half the people away. But I'll never forget it. It was horrible. I remember going into prison and people say prison is really bad, but it was all right. It was like really scary, not gonna lie. My heart wouldn't stop racing most days. The tension in prison is fucking immense. Like the it's just hell. Honestly, prison is hell. So, whatever you do in life, do good, be nice to people, don't steal, don't do drugs. I try not to do drugs. I do drugs now and again. No, but not my own drugs. I go and buy something off. Do you know what I mean? A bit of coke, Matty Lucas doesn't hurt, does it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't slam myself. I don't get too high intoxicated on drugs, but I just do drugs now and again. Who doesn't, right? But yeah, prison was tough. Like, I just used to spend hours and hours and hours in a cell. There was this guy that I sucked off quite a bit. He was quite fit as fuck. He was like this Iranian guy. Had a cock about that fucking size, and it was that long. Like when you used to walk in when you used to like run outside in the fucking, I'm not being a perv, just saying how it is. How us gay men like big dicks. Oh well. But like he used to be in like the courtyard going round and round, and from my window you could just see this big thing fucking wobbling about. And then he used to come into the cell because I was sharing the cell with him at the time. He was like, "Oh, do you want to suck me off? That was amazing the other night." I was like, "Oh, go on then." So yeah, I wasn't a slag. I just enjoyed it. We got quite close. Me and this Iranian bloke, and me and this other chavvy bloke, we got extremely close as well. Very close, to be fair. Yeah. This other bloke that I shared a cell with in prison, he was like this hot chavvy bloke. He's about 28 years old. 28 years old, about 6'2", proper like hench and that. He liked me for being who I was, like, you know what I mean? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. So when I was in prison, I didn't talk like this. I talk like that, mate. Do you know what I mean? So in prison, this was be my voice. So I put the manly voice on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. That's the voice I had to put on in prison because I was so fucking petrified. I managed to hold it off for like the last day, and then on the last day, my true colours came out and I could talk, I could be myself again. But we'll talk about the last day of me coming out of prison soon. But yeah, so I was flung in prison. I was put into the cell with this other guy because he was having really bad flashbacks of his mum, and all I could hear was this guy next door to me, which was the guy that obviously I went into the cell with. He was having flashbacks of his mum because his mum killed himself in front of him when he was younger, and he got banged up because he threw a great big huge axe at, I believe, the dad of his mum. I think his mum's dad, sorry, and missed him by that much. And they obviously grasped him in and snitched on him. And even though it didn't hit the guy, it was like that far away from his neck. He got put away for attempted manslaughter, and he got 9 years. So yeah, he didn't get life, he just got 9 years. So yeah, bless his heart, he was going insane. So they put me in there with him. They knew I was gay, the prison obviously, duh. They could see my temperament as the weeks went on. The staff started being nice to me. On the first day, they're fucking horrible cunts. And then I had people coming up to me, like from the other cell, saying, "Oh my God, you're that fucking guy that threatened to bomb Birmingham City Hospital, weren't you?" Everybody, bruv, when you go into prison, they know your business. They're not stupid. The screws, this guy, this listener, right, which broke his, this is dangerous now. This guy could have got fucking told, well, he did get told off because I reported him. But the listener, they basically in prison, when you're down, when you're depressed, you get guys that come into your cell that are like support worker people and like called listeners. But this specific listener came into my cell because I invited him in, and we got talking, told him about my bad past, told him what I was in for. Then he snitched on me, bruv. He snitched on me. He told the fucking canteen. He said, "There's Matthew Wayne from YouTube, Matthew Flawless, the guy that threatened to bomb Birmingham City Hospital." Yeah, that didn't help. So then as soon as that happened, I got the alarm bells ringing. I told the screws. The screws immediately moved me to a different cell. And I was on my own in a different cell for a good few months until it all died down. But yeah, there was like other mixed race guys in other cells that were fuming, and they wanted to smash my faces in. But after time progressed and I was in prison and they could actually see that I was a nice person, and you know, they actually clocked me once in the courtyard, and they come right up to me. They didn't threaten me. A screw was standing there. And they were just like, yo, fam. Like, these 2-3 guys come up to me. I'm like, "Listen, we know what you're in here for. But like, put it there." we respect you, bruv, innit? But like, your past is your past, innit? But just move on. And they were just like, just don't do it again. I was like, well, no, I won't, of course I won't. So yeah. But there would be days I'd be screaming in the cell. There'd be days I was crying in the cell, like screaming, crying. You know, you just want to hit the walls. Prison does make you go insane almost. But you just have to try and stay strong. It's so hard to stay strong in prison, I'm not going to lie. You've not only just got your problems, you've got other people's problems to take on as well. So you've been put in with somebody that's been done for not murder, but you've been, you know, attempted murder, a bit like, you know, my prison cell. It's not easy. You've got two people being put in the same cell at once. And that's not healthy. You know, you have to eat in front of each other. You have to shit in front of each other. You have to piss in front of each other. You know, thank God there was like this divider board, right? There was this divider board that basically was like this board that I asked for because I didn't want to, you're going to laugh. I didn't really want the guy watching me all the time I was having the shit when he was watching me on the bunk bed. Do you know what I mean? We all like our privacy. But in prison, you don't get any privacy at all. I was watching a documentary earlier on today, a 2.5-hour documentary on the world's roughest prison in America. Fucking mental, bruv. They had like all these killers and all these gang leaders all in one big, huge, confined, like massive room, right? They had to share one toilet. They didn't get any bedding, nothing like that. And they were in, like, they're in there for life. And I actually felt sorry for them. I mean, I know some of them might be murderers and stuff like that, but to live like that, I mean, come on. That's just awful. You know what I mean? Some people don't deserve to be in prison. And like the guards said to me before I got thrown in prison the previous day, they're like, Matthew, they're like, prison, even the listeners said in the end, one of the listeners, I had the listener changed, and that listener got in a lot of trouble for basically snitching on me the way he did. But I had a different listener and he understood me completely. But I had one of the cell guards come to me one day and check on me at night time, and it's like, Matthew, he put his hand on my arm and went, listen, it's like, you haven't got long left. I had like 2 or 3 weeks left to the end of my sentence. He's like, you've done really well up to now. He's like, you didn't deserve to come here. He said the justice system got it wrong. He's like, you may have threatened the hospital. He said, but we all know in here now what you're like. He said, you're a decent, down-to-earth lad. He's like, this is the wrong place for you. So yeah, I made friends in prison. I done really well in prison. Is it true about the food? Yes, it is. The food was gone off sometimes, and it was not nice. There was days the food was all right, then there was days some, like, I'm not saying the staff never did like spit in the food, but the food was actually quite nice in prison. I'm not gonna lie. It depended on who was on what day, but like the cooks were very good normally in the prison. Like, you know, they used to get a nice meal down me, and it was nice. It was cold sometimes, but it's prison for you, isn't it? You know what I mean? I used to have a lot of blokes come and sit near me. We used to have a good conversation. I remember going around the big courtyard. We got let out in this big courtyard for like an hour and a half. Just to walk, just to get some fresh air. And yeah, it was a bit fucked up really, guys, because even though like you got some fresh air, when you came back in, because you were in such a confined space, you would just like panic. Do you know what I mean? You would panic, and yeah, like not like panic because you're in with other cellmates, but like because it's like going into hot and cold air. Do you know what I mean? Once you've been out in hot air and you go hit the cold, you go all funny, you go all fuzzy, don't you? So yeah, that's exactly how I went. But yeah, prison taught me a strong lesson in life. Not to threaten hospitals, and I haven't done since. And not to get high and intoxicated on drugs. Yeah, not good at all. But yeah, sometimes in life you have to learn your lesson, and prison gave me a massive kick up the bum, and I've turned my life around since. And yeah, turned my life around, moved away from shitty England because England wasn't doing me any favours. You know what I mean? England has fallen as far as I'm concerned. Apparently when all the crows fall off Big Ben or something, that means when London falls, supposedly. But yeah, I did really well in prison. I made friends in prison. People respected me in prison. I had friends. And me and this scally bloke, we got really close. The one I told you about, the one that had these personal issues and his mum killing herself when he was a child in front of him. I hugged him. I kept him. I comforted him. And we snogged each other. We actually had quite hot, passionate sex one night. And we just slept in the bunk bed together, and I was holding him. He was crying, and he actually made me cry. Like, he was in my arms. We snogged each other. We fell asleep with each other. And I said to him, look, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, my darling. You're going to be fine. Stop crying. You'll be fine, sweetheart. Honestly, you'll be fine. So I mothered him, and I mothered him to the day he got released, because he was just going insane. And I actually helped him. And that makes me feel so good. Like, from that changed me as a person. You not only just have to go into prison and deal with your own issues and, like, your own fucking sentences, yeah? You then get fucking chucked in with somebody else that has got far worse sentences, but you have to deal with their sentences and help them. So, yeah. And I would say prison, for a lot of people like myself, was not the right place at the time. Like somebody said years ago in the comments, back on one of the articles, but that's been removed now by my sister. Someone said, for crying out loud, he didn't need jail. He needed medical treatment. And I did. And I have got that medical treatment. I can prove to you my medical treatment. Are you ready? I take one of these now, each morning, and I can't tell you guys how good this stuff has made me feel. Sertraline, 25 milligrams. So yeah, I used to be on beta blockers as well in prison for my anxiety. That's another thing in prison as well. I was on beta blockers, 2 seconds. I was on beta blockers in prison. And yeah, they didn't fucking give me my medication right. They deliberately missed the beta blockers out some days as well, on purpose. So not only did I have a heart condition, but my heart was everywhere and going like the clappers, because they used to fuck my beta blockers up on purpose. Yeah. But that's the first time I came into the prison. Like, after I settled in and stuff, they weren't like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh my God, there was this another gay bloke in prison, and he was like camp as fuck. Like, I'm effeminate, but he was just like camp. And he obviously had a boyfriend on the other side of the courtyard that was this proper, like, straight dude. And he's like, hey babe. He was like, how are you? I'm just gonna put some, like, he cheered me up so much. So he was like shouting at the cell, I'm just gonna put some money on your on the system. Basically, there was like this tuck thing. There was like these touch screens, and basically, yeah, it was just like, he was like putting, what's he doing? What was he staring at? I forgot. Bastard. Excuse me a minute. Stop staring. Packy bastard. Sick of him staring at me every time I do a fucking video. Stares constantly. Sorry. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, he used to be like, hey yeah, to his boyfriend, like across the courtyard. He was like, babe. But then he was like, he wanted to respond to him, but there was times like he didn't like respond, because you can imagine, like, it was just hilarious. Like, and everybody else kept looking at him. And one dude said, yo fella, is that your boyfriend? And he was like, it was hilarious though. It was just campus Christmas. But yeah, he was calling him from the cell. It was like, babe, it was like, I'll tell you what I'm in for. I'm in for battery, because I battered my sister, innit? Just couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. So gay men are in prison as well. Oh yeah, they are. They are indeed. You wouldn't have thought so, but they are. And they're lucky because they get all the cock. They do. They get all the cock. And there was guys in there that you thought that wouldn't suck dick or doing anything. Matty Lucas. Yeah. Not mentioning you because of this, but I thought you should know. Matty Lucas was buying it, and I would like to get with him one day. Matty, if you're watching this, maybe we could make up. Who knows? I still love you though. But yeah, you would tell these blokes in prison like they were straight acting, and you thought they were straight, but like they were proper like doing it. You know what I mean? I heard a few noises from my cell once, and you could just hear, and I was like a few doors down. And that's late at night when all the prison guards have gone in and stuff. You could hear like 2 or 3 guys at it. Yeah. You just hear it. It was just hilarious. It was just like, oh my God, they're at it again. Like, do you know what I mean? And then this other guy was like, take it. But you could hear it echoing like down the fucking, down the fucking prison hallway. And then you just used to hear, oh, that's so fucking good, I'm gonna come. But could you imagine that being amplified by a fucking echo? You know what I mean? Might as well get my fucking speaker with my fucking microphone on it going, I'm gonna come. That's literally what it sounded like. Fucking hilarious. And then the prison guard used to storm in with the torch and break it all up. Yeah. And then send him off to his cell again. So yeah, straight men do it in prison. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Up to them, innit? But yeah, so nearly finished, guys. Oh yeah, the day I left prison, it was fucking strange. I got my phone back, and this is how badly prison fucks you up. So I remember the big door, like, opening halfway, and we were told to wait near this door. I had all my things, all my belongings. They give my phone to me, and then when I was outside, I was so dizzy. Like, as soon as my phone was, like, in my hand, pretend that's my phone, it was, like, melting through my hands. Like, my vision was so fuzzy as I came out of the little small door. Everything was just blasé. Like, it was so strange. And I never want to go through that again in my life. You know what I mean? Never again. Ever again. I just literally had a phone, and it was just, I just looked at it, and it was, like, melting through my hands. That's how bad prison affects you, by the way. Yeah. That's from lack of sleeping properly, because you're always hearing, let me fucking out, let me out, you fucking cunts, you fucking wankers. You know what I mean? You hear that like 24/7. You know what I mean? You hear it. You know what I mean, bruv? You know what I mean? You hear that late at night time. You do. You hear it like at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like when you're trying to sleep. Bash, 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 bash. Let me out, you fucking cunts. That used to echo down that hallway like fucking mad. But yeah, the day I got released, guys, I was happy. Went back to my accommodation. And yeah. It was awful. But they actually kept my room for me as well. Yeah, it was really good. They were really kind to me. My accommodation, even though I got locked up for that period of time, they they kept my road. They kept my place for me at Hatfield Road in Birmingham. So even though I went away for a long time, my room was still there when I came out, and I was very grateful of that, because I could have been on the streets and I wasn't. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's about it, I think. That was my prison experience. Oh, the guards used to be cunts. The screws used to be cunts sometimes, honestly. They were just like, nah, don't feed Matthew. He's not having any food today. And I didn't even do anything wrong. But the screws can be cunts, literally. That's what they're called, screws. But yeah, no, they just used to be cunts. There was a day, I was on a really bad day. I was screaming. I was like crying on the floor. I was like really bad, do you know what I mean? This is during COVID time as well. Just near COVID time. And I was questioning a nurse, and my cellmate went mental because he was having a mental breakdown, and I get pressing a bell. That's the worst thing you can do if you're in prison as well. If there's like a bell on the wall, don't press it. Because they never acknowledge you anyway. They never come. They should do, but they don't. And they never answered it. You know what I mean? Well, they did start to answer it eventually with me, but to start off with, they just don't answer it. Yep. But West Midlands police are absolute tossers, and I hope they all go to hell. Because what they put me through was absolute terrible. Like, literally, they even had me put all through the papers for no reason. Like, literally, it was just awful. So yeah, that's why I left England, fled violence, and turned my life around. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.